What is up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to TPL Live. The Sixers get the W, move to 2-0 here in Summer League. Joining me today, I've got a special guest. He is Sean Bernard of Philly Sports. And my God, make sure you go check him out. He is the host of the Pick Swap Pod. It is an honor for you to join, man. What's going on, Sean?
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm juiced up. We got a little extra free Summer League basketball. Saw the young trio balling out, and that was fun to watch. So can't beat Summer League ball.
Oh, man, guys, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and also be sure to check out my man Sean over there. He is at Sean_Bernard1. Let's talk Sixers basketball. The Sixers got the W here, 96-88. It's always good to beat the Hawks. You knew this game was going to be tough. You just knew it, just the way the season ended. But anyway, let's talk about first impressions. Lead us off, Sean. What's your main takeaway from this game?
Yeah, there's definitely something sickening about seeing the Hawks logo back in our face, but good to be on the right side this time. First off, all three of Isaiah Joe, Tyrese Maxi, and Paul Reed all impressed me a lot today, and I think that's the biggest takeaway is that just the young core coming together. I forget what else off the top of my head, but 60-something points between the three of them, and going nuts. Maxi definitely came out shooting it today, and I love it. I love seeing it. He went 0 for 7 on his first three, and then hit that step back one, which I absolutely love. B-ball Paul. I was all about it. The way he impacted the game today, I think it was a very B-ball Paul game, and just there's something to it. As much as we've kind of been preaching about how good these guys are going to be, there's something there in them, and that's just so exciting to me.
Tyrese Maxi, he struggled shooting the ball a little bit today, but look at in the fourth quarter in overtime, 17 points, 2 assists, a block, and he got the W. I love how you brought up B-ball Paul, because that's the guy that completely opened up my eyes in this game. He was absolutely all over the court with his energy. I think he had 7 stocks in game 1 here. What did he have in game 2? He was just everywhere from start to finish. Paul Reed finished with 20 points, 12 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, a block. And I love the way the guy gets it done defensively. He's just a menace. He's just pure chaos on the basketball court. You love his length. Let's go to some comments. Luke Armstrong says, "What a game! Only good vibes." It's been a while since we talked good vibes with Sixers basketball, but these last 2 games have been fun. They've been fun. Samuel says, "What a ball game!" Quentin Moore says, "Not a fan of Springer so far." We're gonna get into that. Tyrese stole the show there at the end of the game. Agreed. Mike is 18 years old. Or Springer is 18 years old. There were better picks. You see, so I didn't watch the game. How was Maxey's facilitating? It got better. It definitely got better. It's not been, the ball movement got better, I think, as the game progressed. But I think they had 0 assists in the first quarter. That first quarter was brutal.
Yeah, they started super slow start tonight, but third quarter I thought it opened up. The whole second half they looked significantly better, and just kind of finding their role with that. Maxey, I think the facilitating is still the biggest thing that he needs to grow on, and just being able to actually fully run an offense. And that's something he's talked about, he's aware of, and he's definitely taking strides in that, but he's not full out the guy that's capable of being a 1A point guard right now in that regard.
And another impressive guy tonight was Isaiah Joe. Joe opening some eyes. He had 21 points tonight, 5 of 13 from 3. The guy's just a shooter. I love Isaiah Joe. That major 3 there he had, just ice in his veins. It was just a cold-blooded 3. What's your take on Isaiah Joe? And what do you think this has any impact in 2021 in the regular season, man? Because he's that length, the shot. He's got range for days. What's your take on Isaiah Joe?
I'm starting to buy into this year kind of an impact, and you see him flashing more. You've seen the handle more in these past 2 games than we have yet in his career. That little behind the back pass on the pick and roll to Petr, whatever. That was a crazy little dime there and fitting that in. And then the shot is just one of the most willing shooters already on roster. I think he's up there with Furkan with just his willingness to just let it fly. The 4-point play was awesome too. And it's so appealing. Just he is a legitimate weapon. And for the Sixers to be able to use that in the right way, I think is possible for this year. And I think he's going to be right in there competing with all these guys for minutes.
Love it. We have Mike saying Joe has been lighting it up. That first quarter he had in game 1 was absolutely terrific as well. B-Ball Paul looking like John Collins. I like to see him build on his 3 game. Man, he shot 44% from 3 with the blue coat. So he's not shooting it as well here from 3, but the dude is talented, man. Like the guy has to be getting Doc Rivers' attention. What's your take on Paul Reed? And do you see any path for Paul Reed onto this Sixers roster moving forward?
There's such like an appealing like weirdness to his game, and just like I can't figure out what kind of box to put him in with. Like he's talked about being a versatile kind of stretch big, and there's definitely versatility in his game. Defensively is in my mind what kind of the appeal that can keep him on this roster, and just he's so switchable on defense. His feet are so quick for his size. He gets in passing lanes. He's a ball magnet, and you even watched on the offensive glass. Like there was one possession tonight where he had back-to-back offensive boards and kick him out, and then the next possession down got fouled going up for another offensive rebound, earning that. So just like the hustle and like everything that comes with B-Ball Paul and just makes him. Like he's coming from again transitioning from just like the folklore B-Ball Paul to a guy that can really help this team win. And I think about like when we think about how the roster's shaking out with like obviously the addition of Drummond, B-Ball Paul is very much like the opposite of what he's going to bring to the team. And when we need like a switchable guy defensively, and that can be our guy. And if he can keep this same kind of style of play and this level when it makes that NBA jump, I think he could be a guy playing rotational minutes.
I love it. Let's go on to Jaden Springer, and then we'll start talking about player of the game. Jaden Springer, it was a tough game. He finished with 7 points, 3 of 9 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3-point range. Turnover, a steal. Jaden Springer is Jaden Springer. He's a guy that is going to take time to develop. And I think Sixers fans need to be patient with this guy as he kind of, as we kind of shape his game. He's going to turn 19 in like November. So he's got a long way to go. And I think the thing that attracts me the most is his defense, his point of attack defense, his ability to really impact the game there. I think we saw that in the second half. He had a few plays in that second half that turned defense to offense. And that's really, I think, what we should expect from Jaden Springer this year. What's your take?
Yeah, I don't see him playing much of a role this year. I think I'm higher on Springer than most just because the defense I 100% believe is NBA legit, and just the strength and the hip mobility, lateral quickness, all that he has at his age is super impressive. But offensively, there's not much there at this point. He's a very instinctual player, and just kind of like you saw, like he's got a little bit of a bag with you. He was trying to break out the jabs and all that tonight and making it work. And he hit one nice little bucket that way, but he also like hit the side of the backboard twice and had some negative moments with it as well. But he also he did a couple times where he would jump in the air before he knew what he was going to do with it, and he had one really bad shot coming off that. So he's definitely a guy that's like a long-term project. I don't expect him to do much this year. I mean, it pained Doc Rivers to play Tyrese Maxi, who was miles more ready than Springer is right now. But I don't think give up on the kid. I think long-term it's still there, and I love the defense that he brings.
Quinn, that is definitely a little harsh. Springer's way different type of basketball player.
Yeah. I do see some Zaire Smith in him. I see a lot of that. And again, Zaire Smith, a rough scene what happened to him. And honestly, the allergy messed everything up there. But there's a lot of the same kind of weird athleticism. I think Springer's a cleaner positional fit, but I see a lot of that style.
All right, let's roll into player of the game. It's been a long night. We're going to make it a short post game. Player of the game, man, who is your guy?
Mine's Paul Reed. I'm going with him. I think he's the motor of the team tonight. And I think like even though Maxey was the guy that brought it home, which as he should, we wouldn't have been there without Paul Reed. And just I loved everything about what he brought tonight.
Yeah, for me, it's Paul Reed too. Again, Tyrese Maxi, 17 points the last 12 minutes. But Paul Reed was start to finish just a wrecking ball defensively for the Sixers. Like how many times I was watching the game and like they need to put P-Ball Paul back in this game because he was just everywhere. So that is 100% my player of the game. Quentin agrees. B-Ball Paul. Guys, in the comments, let us know who your player of the game is. How would you grade today's performance, man? This is A to F.
Okay, for Paul Reed.
No, just in general.
For the team, I'm gonna go lock it in as a B. I think that the slow start really knocked it down, and a pretty poor first half overall. But second half, like especially coming in toward the ending and pushing to overtime, a lot of big buckets from Maxey, from Joe, from everybody playing together. So a really solid performance overall. I'll lock it in as a B.
Yeah, I'll go B too. I think that's pretty fair. I was really high on them in game one. They had 25 stocks. They had 14 tonight. The transition buckets weren't going as well tonight, but the shooting wasn't going as well tonight. But it was a gutsy win. I don't think they had the lead until like the very end of this game.
Yeah.
And they came through, and it was all led by, really our main guys. It was Paul Reed, Isaiah Joe, Tyrese Maxi, Jaden Springer had a player or two in there. So that is great to see. All right. Yeah, that was lightning. Anyway, but guys, I just want to say, any final thoughts before we wrap it up, Sean?
Yeah, no, the awesome game tonight. Maxey bringing it home was awesome. It was cool how everything kind of clicked at the end there. So overall, super positive takeaway tonight.
100%. All right, guys, everybody, please be sure to follow my man Sean on Twitter at Sean_Bernard1. He is part of Philly Sports Network. He is the host of the Pick Swap Pod. Man, like, what do you got going on, man? Anything you want to plug, or the floor is yours, man?
Yeah, a Pick Swap Pod, getting back into that, so building that up, and just all the writing. Follow the Twitter for all the following with that. But yeah, all good stuff. Following the Sixers and ready to roll.
Quinn, it's way too late for this kind of stuff. Come on, man. I'm too tired. It's been a long day. You're trying to trigger me, I think, is where we're going. So, all right. Follow my man Sean on Twitter, Philly Sports Network. Awesome dude. For Sean, for myself, stay awesome. Everybody, Sixers win. We will see you on Saturday against the Celtics, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. It's going to be a ton of fun. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Take care. Stay awesome.